Welcome everyone, I'm Ante the Hero, and today we shall speak about the most important of topics, the good Assassin's Creed 4.
Eddie was crucified later that day.
In all seriousness, today's topic is the open world action-adventure game Assassin's Creed Rogue. The game was developed by Ubisoft Zofia and published by Ubisoft for the Xbox 360, PS3, PC, and with the remaster Xbox One and PS4. Today we are speaking about the 360 version because that's the one Microsoft threw at me for free. Now, riddle me this. What happens if you take Shay Patrick Cormac, an assassin trainee, supposed cabbage farmer,
You rat-brained cabbage farmer!
and locksmith,
I make my own luck, Liam.
and then send him to accidentally destroy a whole city, with your only response being, oops? If you answered massacre, you would be correct. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Enter Numbskull. They are you. They work for Abstergo. They're basically the same thing as the guy from 4. These two are your protagonists for this game. In Shay's case, your mission is to figure out whatever the hell it is you're supposed to do with yourself after destroying a whole bloody city, while with Numbskull, well, just sort of exists to fill you in on the past game's lore. Don't pay that much attention to him as a person, mainly because he isn't. Moving on! Gameplay. It's Assassin's Creed 4 with improvements. Now, that's not exactly true. The best way I could describe it is that it's a mix of all the 360 era games, which honestly probably makes it the best send-off they could make, with Unity also getting released around the same time, and with the series slowly morphing into Witcher 3 on the next current gen. What I mean by all that is that with this game, you get the naval-based gameplay from 4 everyone jerks off to, the city narration of the Ezio trilogy, some of the characters of 3, and, weirdly enough, an earlier version of Syndicate's burrow system. Oh, it also retains whaling, crafting, resources, and the fleet, among others from 4 because, it was there. Shay, instead of dual-wielding swords, has a sword and dagger, which you can switch out with a katana and wakizashi for some of that sweet Ubisoft points, and I will never get an Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan, so I'll take what I can get. Along with these, Shay comes with 2 hidden blades, and later on an air gun that fires darts and firecrackers that later gets upgraded to serve as a grenade launcher as well, cause why not? Man's got some assassin ass waiting for him to hand it to him, he ain't got time to chuck that shit. As for everything else, it really is mostly the same as Assassin's Creed 4, which I keep comparing the two despite not reviewing AC4 yet, so how about I go over what is the same between the two as well? Well, whaling exists, it's fun, probably the highlight of 4, to be honest, well aside from the sea shanties, speaking of which, since boat songs, you can get your ship crew to sing shanties while on the move on sea. I will admit, I did like the AC4 set of chanties better, that's a part that swears in row. Well, that's another thing I'll talk about in the actual AC4 review, whenever that gets made. The traversal and combat are pretty much the same between the two, which is to say it is a tighter version of AC3's, while the fleet system got the most unexpected quality of life upgrade I didn't know I wanted. See, the fleet system took over for the whole assassin recruits, but instead of being people you can call upon to aid you, they kept in the sending guys all over the part of the map to give you money and items part, while scratching the part that was actually good about the recruits. Now with all this, the trade routes you send your ships on have difficulties that you can lower by playing passive Pokemon with your ships. What they did here is they added an I don't give a shit button to passive Pokemon so you don't need to watch the CPU battle itself, and I also brought up crafting, so you can hunt animals for their animal bits, or you can hunt ships for the ship bits. You upgrade Shay with the animal bits, you upgrade the Morrigan with the ship bits. You can also sell these, which reminds me, tobacco is a thing that exists, and it exists so you can sell them to merchants for basically no money whatsoever. Now, as for the renovation and burrows, you can renovate certain buildings if you have the building materials back on the ship, but you can only do so after you've overtaken the area Genk hideout. These renovated buildings will in turn generate you money, which you can pick up in a number of places, including the Morrigan. Not sure how they teleport the money on the ship, but weirder things have happened. The music is pretty good, the graphics still hold up, or so I'd say, and that's pretty much all I had to say about those two. So, to summarize, Assassin's Creed Rogue is Assassin's Creed 4 with enough pros to make me not mind the focus on naval things. The only real big issues I'd have with the game is that it's on the shorter side, but the story isn't that good, so... I still didn't dislike the story, by the way. Forgot to mention that. And with all that said, I think it's fair if I give this game an 8 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this video, and with that, goodbye.